Okay, the G race, men's G race, to be starting at 9:46, which is 3 minutes ago. Second last race of the night. We have Ollie Pratt from Mornington, Tom Clucknow from Old Scotch, Tom Forster from St Kevin's, Luke Goodman from St Kevin's, Jonathan Little from Richmond, Andrew McAvoy from Glen Huntly, James Howe from, is that McDonald's?
The Melbourne Midday Milers.
A rec running team, Melbourne Midday Milers, James Howe. Then Brody Andrews from Essendon, Harvey Mason from Geelong Guild, Lachlan Dess from Geelong Guild also. Ryan Costin from Chilwell, Jared Byrne from Generation Running Squad, or Run Social, was it? Squad. Generation Run Squad. Andrew Stevens from Melbourne University, Ross Pentland from South Melbourne. We have Lachlan Ford from Geelong Guild. Dylan Littlejohn from Diamond Valley, Joshua Gobulba from Williamstown, Andrew Dubar from, he's an invitational athlete, and Jimmy Goulis from Melbourne University.
And again, the young fellas, they're going to take it up. They're going to lead them out here.
Yeah, so that's young Oliver Pratt. That's taken him out to start with. Raced over at the old schools too last weekend, running very well. Nice long hair, Lockie Ford of Geelong Guild. Quickly put on a little bit of pace and a bit of a gap.
A few Geelong athletes have come out tonight. Geelong Guild, Chilwell.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a Geelong Guild athlete in almost every race tonight. Yeah. It's been great to see.
Also country athletes as well, like
at the Windarees.
That's it.
Yeah, Windaree,
Eureka,
Ballarat. We've had Wellington, South Coast.
Good to see people coming from everywhere to come and chase their PBs. That's what these meets are so good for. It's going to roll through the first lap here. Pretty quick time.
About 78 seconds, so 10 minutes is the quickest seed time in this field, so they'll be wanting 80-second laps, those 3:20 splits per the kilometres throughout this race, so keep an eye on that clock.
PB spread about 30 seconds, so we'll see quite a spread as we get a few laps into this race. But the front guys will be looking for that low 10 sort of range. 1 minute 20, 2 minutes 40, 4 minutes.
Ford to Pratt to Grobbelaar.
Best things about these sort of nights is that anybody from any age can compete against each other. There's a 38-year age gap between our youngest and our oldest competitor in the field, so it's always interesting to see how that dynamics. I know we mentioned the old man strength, but they've certainly shone bright.
That's some good running maths.
I've been thinking about that for a good minute and a half, trying to do the math there.
Got your pen and paper there.
Long division.
So there's the old man strength, but you can't underestimate either the young buck enthusiasm. That's something I've just coined then, so if you use that term in the future, citation, Coleman.
Young buck enthusiasm.
Coleman 2019.
That was Buck with me.
Coleman et al.
These boys are looking very comfortable out the front.
So Lockie Ford, pretty comfortable. Pratt just going behind him, so Pratt, he'd want to get right on the tail of him if he can. Leading that chase pack, Dylan Littlejohn of Diamond Valley, Tommy Clucko of Old Scotch as well, and Andrew McAvoy.
Big boy McAvoy.
Oh, that's right.
They are fairly strung out. PBs or season's best seed time, should we say, spread out over 30 seconds. So it does make sense that a bit over a kilometre into the race, they are already spread out across 10 seconds or so, 50 metres.
Josh Grobler there in third place, going to put me at 10:28. So he's certainly right on pace to be able to go under that and go home and get the famous Macca's treatment. So these three working really well off each other. And even the next packs, they've all sort of been split up into packs of 3 and 2. So all working in their own right. It's a Geelong Guild athlete who, as I say that, he's now overtaken.
So that's a youngster, Oliver Pratt of Mornington Peninsula. He's just edged his way in front. Good on him. Because there's a bit of sharing of work, and it really does make things a lot easier. Lockie Ford, Geelong Guild, doing much of that early leading.
He's a great runner, Ollie Pratt. He's won a number of Little Athletics Victoria titles over the past few years, being a young athlete still himself. I remember he's telling me that he's done a few 5K park runs, pretty quick time as well.
With a 10-minute PB, he certainly looks like he's on pace to run something pretty special, particularly at 14. That is extremely impressive. Mornington Peninsula, they've produced a fair few good young distance runners over the years, so it's good to see that it's continuing on. He looks very comfortable at the front, Ollie Pratt.
And still in that chase pack, Little John of Diamond Valley leading them through. So we'll try to keep an eye on some of the splits for those chase packs, but coming through 5:20, so bang on that 10-minute pace. And then just a little bit over for our chase pack.
That chase pack starting to maybe pick up a little bit by bit. As the boys at the front maybe start to feel a little bit of the pinch of doing a lot of the work and sharing the load.
I reckon there's been a bit of a move in this chase pack. So Little John, who was leading just a bit earlier, he's still looking comfortable, but there's just a few that have taken over. Looks to be one of our unattached athletes.
Tommy Clucko there of Old Scotch just latching onto that chase pack to the front pack as they're about to make a connection here. Moving from 3 to 5 always makes things a bit easier. Take that back, 6.
So Brodie Andrews, the youngster of Athletics Essendon, he's there sitting in about 5th position. He's worked hard to get onto those leaders, but now the question's being asked, can he hang with them still?
You've got to think the form looking the best in there is from the unattached athlete in 4th place. He's looking extremely strong.
Yeah, he's looking pretty comfortable, but our leaders have dropped off the pace just a little bit, so 6:50 through the 2K mark, so they'll be a little bit over that 10-minute mark.
The only, I think, non-mulleted Old Scotch athlete is starting to make his presence felt there in 5th place.
It's unusual.
Yeah, or probably more usual.
So Andrew Dubar is that unattached athlete sitting in about 3rd, 2nd position, but looking very dangerously. So we need to make sure, remember that name, Andrew Dubar, because I suspect we'll be saying it over the last lap multiple times. Still a couple to go here for the guys. Pratt still leading.
Brodie Andrews just sort of falling off the back of the pack there. It's clock out from Scotch.
Someone give Ollie Pratt a break. He's been leading the whole way. He's only little.
He's done all the work. There wouldn't be too much windbreaking behind him, but he's absolutely gritted his teeth.
So Cluckow, he's wearing the red of Old Scotch, the long stride, looking dangerous. Dubar lurking dangerously as well. It looks like Lockie Ford might be just a little bit boxing there at the moment, but still 600 to go and plenty of time. Grobbler of Williamstown, who we said had that PB of 10:28, who if he can keep it up over this next 600, will be going home to Macca's, that's for sure.
Tommy Cluckow now, 10:25 PB. He starts to take up the reins, but in doing so, Oliver Pratt, he's going to latch on and he's going to try and get dragged through now. He's done with leading all the boys through. He's ready to take a load off as this group starts to break apart a little bit.
So Cluckow starting to pump the arms, starting to lengthen the stride. He's looking good, but Ollie Pratt, you can still see those legs ticking over very quickly. The cadence is strong. Andrew Dubar, a little bit of a grimace on the face. Lockie Ford ready to go around, and Grobbelaar having a fantastic run. In set for a huge PB, but Cluckow still pretty dangerous.
Starting to open that stride. He's got that big wide gate. He might be using a little bit less energy than the other boys, but don't count anybody out. But Cluckow is looking extremely strong as he starts to put a few more meters into them. As his arms start to pump. He's got a fantastic style for lactic. He is not really moving around his head. His arms have stayed straight, and he's looking extremely strong with 200 to go. As you see some of the guys in that second pack start to make their presence known. Grobbelaar, as he starts to move up into third place. And maybe Ollie Pratt, he's not done yet. As these boys start to move. The Cluckow takes them into the straight. 9:48 on the clock. He's going to have a PB next to his name, you think, as he finds another gear. Ollie Pratt there in second. And Grobbelaar, he now makes it known that he wants the PB. He's going to cross the line here in 10:03. Ollie Pratt and Grobbelaar, 10:05. And as everybody else starts to come through the line, they're pretty close here, 10:11, 10:12, 10:13. So a great race by all, and there'll be a fair few PBs coming out of that one. And I don't know whether you're best for drive-through or go in at Macca's, because it's going to be pretty clogged up if it's the PB treatment.
Yeah, that's right. Plenty of Macca's PBs tonight. Oh, what a run from Josh Grobbelaar. Huge PB, and he just went after it from the gun too. And you know, we see that, we spoke before about banking that time early. That's what he did, and he hung on and fought strong over the last